Hello, everyone. Grover Cleveland, America's favorite imaginary talking dog here, and you're watching Ink the Book Show, formatted to fit your Game Boy Color. Hey, did you know that you can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter? And if you like his daily drawings or his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon on YouTube. The link to all these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
Old format, old glitches. Welcome, everybody. It's Ink the Book Show. See the banner on the wall? Let's see now. Let's try and get that music back that we had on the last one. Where does that go? Bear with me, people. I'm an idiot. Maybe it's playing, I don't know. Yep, I hear something. All right. Well, if you heard me earlier, I'm talking about inking instead of coloring. Going back to the inking. What am I inking? I thought the book was inked. Well, I'm going to try and put together a black and white 24-page issue of the first chunk of pages from Bonehead. And so I wanted to make a cover for that. And here's my cover. It's got Denton Crux, who's not the titular Bonehead, but he is a bone-headed man nonetheless. Anyway, so let me flip the camera around. Just a sec. And then we'll get situated for that. Look, here's my sketchbook. I was back in my sketchbook today for the first time in a bit. Doing Mackerel Man is what I called this guy. Okay, that music is a little too grating. Let's see what else we got. And furthermore, let's get into foreign ink. Yeah, this is what I settled on last time too. So we got a beer bottle cap, Killian's Irish Red. That should be enough to ink a page, I think, maybe a dab more. I'm in productive mode today, so I've been getting stuff taken care of. Got my tea. So let's move this off to the side. It's my scratch paper with the same image on it. I think I traced this piece of paper, which is a print blow up of a drawing I did in my sketchbook, and traced it onto here. Let me turn this light around. So this is going to be the cover for the first black and white issue of the Bonehead comic I'm working on. It was never meant as issues, but I want to have something to show for the long. I mean, like I've been inking this comic for over a year now, and now I'm coloring it in Photoshop, and I'm about 14 pages in, but it's going to be another forever until I'm done with the book. So I want to have something to show for it since I've been working on it for so long publicly. So I'm going to try and put together, like break it up into issues. I don't think I'm going to do the whole book that way. And just make them available somewhere as little tiny issues. And this first chunk lends itself well to that because this opening scene, it's kind of like a self-contained little story. It's a self-contained little backstory about our antagonist. I'm using Speedball India ink. I'm doing this on Hanson comic book artboards. Damanami, how is it that you are? And I'm using a Winsor & Newton Series 7 Sable Kolinsky size 3 brush from jolly old England, it seems. So it boasts. Let me take this hat off because it's kind of getting in my way between me and the camera. And my page. Me and the camera. The camera's already standing in my way between my face and the page. And my hat was putting more distance. You feel me? No digital art coloring today. I did do some on an earlier stream today. But I wanted to do 2 streams today because it's before this morning. It was the longest I'd gone without streaming, I think, since I started streaming. I don't think it's been quite 2 weeks, but it's been kind of close to that. So, and I had drawn this out a while ago, so I wanted to get that inked before long. I also want to do, I was talking about on a recent art stream where I was lettering a couple pages. Oh, look. Gucci got the flu. That is an interesting name. But let's see. So on a recent stream where I was lettering pages, I was lettering it, and then I realized I probably need to add a frame to a page. So I haven't drawn out the frame I want to add to that page. Like, I know where I'll place it. It'll fit into the page. It's got a good place to fit into the page. But I haven't drawn it yet. But I think I'll do an inking stream soon just to do that frame that I'm going to add in. because there's kind of like, I feel like there's something going on in the story that isn't clear on that page. Okay. Let's see. So his hair's got these kind of like wormy stripes on them. Oh, somebody on Instagram was telling me, mentioned. Well, I don't even remember what they mentioned because they said they were kind of like telling me how to. I think they were saying my videos aren't optimized or something like that. And I don't know what that means, but they were saying they were giving me tips somewhere. So I think I might look into that a little bit. I don't know things, but if it's easy enough to do it without taking all my time away from drawing, I'll do what I can, because I want eyes on this stuff, but I don't got all day to not be drawing. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I did a 250-page graphic novel called Bonehead. That's kind of what this is. Still, I'm working on a graphic novel called Bonehead where I inked all my pages, and you can see all the streams still on my YouTube channel, which is Wrangleshank or Ryan O'Connor on YouTube. And now I'm starting to color it, but I want to put together a black and white 24-page like preview comic, I think. And then this is going to be the cover of that. I've never made an official comic before. So like my YouTube channel is basically an archive of me kind of like figuring out how to make a graphic novel as I go. Said, don't worry, I don't have the flu. So yeah, every page of my graphic novel I've inked on stream, and so that's one thing I don't like about what do you call the other one? Twitch, is that all the streams go away before long. But they are all archived on YouTube, so. If this doesn't go on too long, I might end up hanging out with my brother Liam tonight, or going to my parents' house. I'm not sure. Maybe. He called me after the last stream. He was talking about maybe doing something today. This is the first time I've picked up a brush and inked in I don't know how long now. I mean, I guess it hasn't been crazy long. Probably finished inking Bonehead sometime in January. It's like now I'm doing. It's like I went through the entire book in script form, and then I went through the entire book in thumbnail form, and then I went through the entire book in pencil form, and then I went through the entire book in ink form, and now I got to go through the entire book in color form. And so because I'm trying to put out the issue, I was also lettering and ballooning pages. So some of the pages are like 100% done at this point, like colored and ballooned and everything. And it's pretty cool to see it looking all official. Looks like a real thing you could find in a bookstore. The pages that I've, so that's encouraging. That makes me feel like I'm like I'm watching somebody else make a comic, you know. That's what it feels like to me. He said, commend you on your skills in being able to stream showing off your work. I'm too embarrassed to show off my work. You know what? I was so nervous before I started because I just barely started using an ink and brush. Like I actually, I think my YouTube channel, I started out doing practice inks for a long time, where I would just ink my main character over and over on note cards. Just to make sure I was ready to use an ink and brush on my book. But and then before that, I've always drawn cartoon characters and stuff and made up cartoon characters and little just doodled and stuff. And I went to art school for animation, but I kind of felt like I was spending a lot of my life not really getting better at drawing. So one thing that I really think helped me be ready to make a comic and present my work was I started on Instagram. I did this very religiously for at least a year, where it was every day I would post a finished drawing that I colored, usually of a different character. I would make up a new character every day or something like that, or do one of my existing characters, and I would just post a colored drawing of them every day, or just make up a new scene every day and just draw something out and color it and get it ready to get it to where it looked like a finished drawing as much as I could. And just doing that every day really helped me become a stronger artist. And that's another thing I hadn't been doing up until today very much for a while. I kind of fell off the practice of doing my daily drawings for the past couple weeks. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of doing the daily. I don't know if I can pull off daily streams right now, just because it's a little hard, because I'm never alone in the house, and it's kind of hard to get a moment that works. And what's the other thing? I forget. There's another aspect to why it's hard to get a stream in every day right now. But I should be able to do a daily doodle drawing thingy in my sketchbook and post that to social media. Said, oh no, I thought there was a new comment, but not yet. But yeah, definitely just kind of putting forth your best effort to draw something that you want to show off every day. That helped me at least get a lot more confident in my skills. Let's see here. I was kind of thinking about that today, where a lot of the time while I was inking Bonehead, I felt kind of like an imposter, and now I don't really feel that way anymore. So that's kind of exciting that I actually feel like lately that I'm starting to feel like a comic book artist. But you know what? I still don't have a comic book out there. So gotta get on that part. So right now I'm a comic book artist with no comic to show for it. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Something's crashing outside. I had to look up this costume a little bit today and this robot to make sure I sketched them right. I did his boots wrong, and actually I was surprised at how much sketch had his robot down just from memory. So I didn't have this stuff on his chest right. He's got a little ask me button, that much I remembered. line's getting a little too thick. I think I got too much ink on my brush. All right. Make this thicker, then erase part of that, or what do you call it? White some of that out so it doesn't touch his arm or come that close to touching his arm. I was fixing stuff like that in my inks today when I was coloring on the stream today. Let's see. Tea. Tea. Today's a rare day. I started my day with a cup of coffee. I woke up and I had to move my car. And while I was moving my car, I was like, I might as well go get some gas, because I'm out of gas. And then it's like, well, I'm getting gas. Let me get some coffee from McDonald's. Which I have never done before. Not from McDonald's, anyway. But I don't drink much coffee. Somebody got me a coffee from McDonald's recently. And that's why it seemed like an appealing idea at the time, when I thought of it today. Let's see. But usually, I spend my days drinking cup after cup of tea, which I've been drinking ever since the coffee this morning. You said you're gonna go drop a follow, so you'll be sure to stop by again later. Thank you. Appreciate you. Glad, appreciate the interest. I'll be here. Let's see. So this robot's only on one page, but I like the scene that he's in. I might use a pen for this little ask me button, that way it looks oh. People always send these, and I can never make out what they are. But I think it's a girl, I think, covering her ears. No, I don't know. I can never make out what they are. But I appreciate it. Even if it's a boy giving me the finger. Let's see. And then these claw hands. A claw is a claw, but nobody has seen a talking claw. No, nobody has seen a talking claw unless that claw is the famous Mr. Claw. Mr. Claw. That's probably an obscure at this point. It might be Giant's track. Called Mr. Claw. My roommate recently made these potatoes where he was calling them torn potato pieces, which I guess is what the video is called, or what the video calls them in the recipe you got it from. But I sent it to my mom because I thought she would like it. It's kind of like fries and kind of like hash browns at the same time. My mom just texted me saying she watched the video and she's gonna try making them for St. Patrick's Day. My mom always cooks a million things for St. Patrick's Day, including like 8 corned beefs. Said, "You're still just sitting here in the chat. Really bad connection, so I won't be responding much." Oh, okay. Fair enough. But sorry. And if it's glitchy on my end, which also seems to be a thing sometimes, at least on this computer, sorry. Here's Robot, and I am going to get a pen out here to finish him up. What does it say? Ask me. It's 6:30. Wonder how much longer this will take me. I got the characters done. All this black up here, this is all going to be black. The sky. That's usually the longest part for some reason. Well, I guess it's the most ink, but I feel like that should go by fast. But that always seems to take longer. Okay. Shadow. Funny thing is, I don't even have I went through the whole book not knowing how I was going to scan these pages because they're 11 by 17. I ended up just taking them to FedEx and scanning them for 50 cents a page. I've only done 30 pages so far now. Because I don't have a scanner big enough to do these. I was looking for one. I just never ended up finding one. One that I wanted to buy, that is. It sounds like it's glitching on my end now. It wasn't before. Or at least for a second it was. I think my streams are stronger from the other computer, honestly. Oops. Okay. Thought I was way off screen. I guess I wasn't that far off screen. was saying on the stream earlier, there's a page I did where I drew all these mountain ranges, and when I was coloring it, I took the lines for the mountains and I made them all. I took the line work for the mountains and made them all like a dark brown, so it kind of has an effect. Like the effect is it kind of like adds depth because it makes them look like they're receded and separate from the foreground. And it's a pretty slick page, I think. It's the one where there's I know I've shown it off somewhere, but it's the one where there's a comet crashing to Earth. I did it with the fire coming from behind the comet too, where I made it all like light orange or whatever. Okay, this music's hypnotizing me. Let's see what else. Old StreamYard's got. What does rock sound like to StreamYard? Oh, wow. Right. Something about the guitar is kind of reminding me of one of my favorite bands called the Toadies. A little bit. What did I say I was going to cover up with whiteout? I said I was going to fix something with whiteout. Probably nothing. I really don't see. Oh, I know what it was, and I better do it before I forget. I didn't want this to touch this. Now, if I was smart, which I never am about this, I would just go and paint the whole sky black and just throw a bunch of stars in after the fact. But that never seems to be the way I go. Because I'm always too attached to the ones I threw down in the sketch phase. And I feel like I'm too afraid to just improv it all. Like after the ink is down, you know? Alright. Feeding the ducks, this says. I love it. Now I'll white in a ton more stars than I'm about to just throw down, but okay. The rest I will improvise. double moon. It's like a double rainbow, only with the reject Lucky Charms. I don't know. Was that a clever thing to say? Was that funny? Or was that just plain old dumb? Let me see. Can I, Oh, I can do it where it doesn't loop. Let's try that out. Because after like 1.5 times, I'm kind of over these tracks. For a sec, so I'm not sticking my hand in wet ink. Although this ink usually does dry fairly quickly. Where a lot of the time I don't have to worry about sticking my hand in wet ink, but when it's like big patches like this, you know, you usually have to be a little more careful. And I can see there's, wet chunks here. Wet chunks. That's what I feed my cat. Well, I don't have a cat, but there is a cat that lives in this house that belongs to my roommate. She has a name, but I just call her Kat. I guess I call my parents' dog by its name all the time, but I often call him Pooch. There's a squirrel in my life that I call Edgar. That's not true. That was a fabrication. Oh, when it doesn't loop, it just stops? Well, how's that for a bunch of a no good bunch of bull? Okay, what's acoustic cinematic is this one? So far, nothing. I might have to pour more ink. Usually I don't have to do that. I feel like I'm living in a dream where I want to punch a harp player. Ow, my hand. What is the time that it is? It's about 7 o'clock. Typically, a page will take me 2 hours to ink. This one shouldn't. I would say maybe half an hour longer. I just got to do this black and all these lines crisscrossing on the ground here. So that's all I got left. Oh yeah, and then dot in all these a bunch more stars. Let me go around all the obstacles real quick with this brush, and then hopefully the rest will go quicker. Dreamy. All right. How about this one? Daydreaming. If you thought acoustic cinematic was dreamy, ink, 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 ink. Talking about ink, singing about ink, rapping about ink, ink in the ink. Ink, 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 ink. Ink isn't a word anymore. Ink isn't a word anymore. Ink is just a sound, it's not a word. Ink is just a state of mind. Ink is a color that you can't see. Ink is you, ink is me. Ink, 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 ink. I picked a bad time to do that because the beat dropped out entirely. Ink doesn't smell. Ink only stinks. Ink, 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 ink. I don't know. These are my improvisational skills. They are worth their weight in turd. Ever? Remix. Ink, 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 ink. Ink is a state of mind. Ink is an imaginary friend. Ink is not visible. Invisible ink, invisible ink, invisible ink, invisible. Intangible, not physical. I'm scared. Scared of the invisible ink. Is it a ghost? Is it more than you think? I don't know. I don't know. Where did the ink all go? It's right here on Ink the Book Show. Right. Drink the ink. Drink the ink. Let's see what else we got. Night driving. Actually, I think this might be the one I started with. Yeah, let's try this one. Into Space. That one was short. Or maybe I'm just getting so old that everything seems short. Is that a thing? As you get older, time goes by faster because it's a smaller percentage of your life? I always felt like that was a thing. Let's get. I'm gonna put the night driving one back on. Zoom. Zip-a-dip-a-dip. Oops. Kind of overshot that one. What a putz. I wish I was dead about that. I don't wish I was dead about nothing. Life is nice. To have. That was an old Bugs Bunny cartoon with like little red Bobby socks or something like that. There was like that. It's like Little Red Riding Hood, but she had this big loud mouth. And the cartoon starts with her singing, "The 5 o'clock whistles on the blink. The whistle won't blow, and why'd you think? My papa's still in the factory, 'cause he doesn't know what time it happens to be." And Bugs Bunny, I think, is, I don't remember off the top of my head. Isn't like Bugs Bunny and the Big Bad Wolf just trying to get rid of her the whole time? I think it's like Bugs Bunny takes Red's place, and he's getting chased by the Big Bad Wolf. But then every time, Little Red Riding Hood is so annoying that I think every time she like wanders back into the picture, they're like rushing around out the door or whatever. I forget. All I know is that it was on a lot, and it was like one of my dad's favorites. Probably still is. But they don't play those cartoons too much no more. But you know what? HBO Max has them. I should do a while back while I was drawing, I would just put on Looney Tunes cartoons in the background, which are wonderful. They are just so funny. The acting is so fun, and the way they talk is just hysterical sometimes. I love Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck kills me. My dad really likes he likes Foghorn Leghorn a lot, and he likes Yosemite Sam. Dragons is so stupid. You Egypt. when Yosemite Sam is a knight. He's trying to get into Bugs' castle or something like that. I forget. The I recall the new ones look pretty good. The HBO Max made ones, the ones that like the Looney Tunes show they called it. Those look amazing. They're they're off the mark here and there in different ways, but it's about as good as it could be. You know, it was like a very sincere effort to make good Looney Tunes. But I only watched so many. But the real stuff, I'm sure it's not like everything, but there is a ton of them on HBO Max. And I don't think they're necessarily in any kind of chronological order. I mean, maybe they are. I don't know, but I don't know. There's a lot of great cartoons you could check out. If you haven't seen Looney Tunes, because my younger brother, he like barely knew anything about Looney Tunes. And I think my dad was watching some with him. And he's like, these are pretty dang funny. Yeah, if you don't know Looney Tunes, give them a whirl. They used to play all the time when I was a kid. And at that point, they were already like 60 years old when they stopped showing them. Or older, even. Hey, look. I can't believe it. It's Bizarre Joe. Why'd you talking to Beat? I'm talking to Beat Looney Tunes. And how dang funny they are. I forget why I started talking about that little red. What is it called? I gotta find out. Oh, I see Liam is texting me. No, my mom texted me. Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay. What is that one? Let's see. Bugs Bunny. Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, it's called Little Red Riding Rabbit. I thought it was called something else. So what's her name? Yeah. She's a Bobby Soxer. I thought it was called Little Red Bobby Soxer. Looney Tunes is funny. I was saying there was a while back where I was when I was drawing in my sketchbook, I would just put on Looney Tunes every day for a little while, and I think it'd be a good idea to go back to that because oh man, when you get into it, like it's the way they talk sometimes in those cartoons is just so funny. It's just like uproarious the way they like that they'll like tell somebody to shut up or something like that. Whatever it might be. Like you're despicable. Throwing little speckles on the ground, I guess. These are the final touches for this covery thing. What have you been up to, Joe? What's new? This is my second stream today. I didn't stream for like close to 2 weeks, I think. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of it. I have been coloring my comic. I've been working on my stuff. I just haven't been streaming it. Because usually there's like somebody in the other room that's like got a TV on or something. I just can't be streaming when the TV's on. Or Fox TV will sue my pants off. No, I don't know. My channel will self-destruct. Something like that. Major League Baseball will have my head boiled in oil. I think I'm getting kind of noodly here. I think I'm just noodling when I could be saying this is finished at this point. Okay, I'm gonna call it done. So here's what I'm gonna dub the cover of the first black and white issue. I am going to color this digitally. I've got a back cover selected out of the drawings I already have. That's colored. And I just got to put together some like an inner cover page, I think, for the front and back. I think is all I'm gonna do. And then I don't know how soon it is. I think I want to get started on the second one before I like make the first 24-page thingy available anywhere. We'll see. I've never done it before. Well, I guess I have put this together, but even this is not like up to snuff with me. I want to make something better. But we'll see. I got to figure out how everything is done on the face of the earth. How to build a piano, how to hotwire a car, how to shingle my roof. Just for kicks. I'm just actually talking on autopilot at this point. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, this has been another Ink the Book show. Good to see you, Joe. Good to see you, Dominami. And good to see you, Gucci Got the Flu. That's their natural name. That's their Christian name. Anyway, I'll be back. I don't know with the way things are around the house. I'm just streaming whenever I get a good opportunity. But I'll be back sooner than I was last time. And considering there's at least one more thing I want to ink in the near future, I might be doing that sometime soon. So anyway, and it's easier to ink in this room than it is out there when I'm coloring because I can close the door to the rest of the house. Anyway, goodbye, everybody. I love you. There's going to be links in the description in a second. Check those out. And if you like that stuff, let me know. Give me a follow on social media. Check out my friend's little jewelry shop. That'll be there. Where you can get 10% off your purchases because she made that little discount code just for my viewers. How do you like that? Anyway, goodbye, everybody. I love you.